Stay single and invest in yourself. God will bring someone into your life who truly deserves you. In the meantime, focus on developing your passions, growing your skills, and nurturing your well-being. When you're genuinely fulfilled and confident in who you are, you'll attract the partner God has in store for you. Trust that God's timing is perfect, and the right person will come when you're ready.
Have you ever wondered why successful men over 40 are choosing to stay single in record numbers? What you're about to discover might shock you, but it's a reality that's reshaping relationships across America. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. These aren't bitter losers sitting in their basements complaining about women. These are accomplished, financially stable men who've reached a point where they'd rather build their empire alone than compromise their peace for the wrong partnership. Let me paint you a picture. Society spent decades telling women they could have it all, and guess what happened? Many prioritized careers over developing the skills that make lasting marriages work. Meanwhile, the men who were overlooked in their 20s and 30s have spent that time building wealth, wisdom, and standards. Now, these same men are looking at the modern dating landscape and saying thanks, but no thanks. Before you roll your eyes and think this is just another anti-woman rant, hear me out. This isn't about hatred or bitterness. This is about men making calculated decisions based on what they see around them. They've watched their divorced friends lose half their assets, their peace of mind, and sometimes access to their own children. They've witnessed the transformation that happens after the wedding ring goes on, where the woman who cooked and smiled during courtship suddenly becomes someone entirely different. These older men have learned something younger guys haven't figured out yet. Your peace of mind has a price tag, and it's often more valuable than companionship. When you've built a life where you control your environment, your schedule, and your stress levels, why would you invite chaos just because society says you should be coupled up? Here's where it gets interesting. Most women peak in attention and dating options around 25. Most men peak in value, resources, and desirability around 45. This creates a fascinating dynamic where older men finally have options, and they're using those options to be incredibly selective. They're not desperate anymore. They're discerning. The modern dating environment has become toxic for serious relationship seekers. Dating apps have turned human connection into a shopping catalog. Social media has created unrealistic expectations and constant validation-seeking behavior. Many older men look at this landscape and decide they'd rather focus on their hobbies, their businesses, their health, and their personal growth. But let's be honest about something else. The legal system surrounding marriage and divorce heavily favors women in most cases. Older men have seen too many good guys get financially destroyed in divorce court. They've watched friends lose their homes, their retirement savings, and their future earnings to women who contributed attitude but not assets. Why would any rational person enter a contract with those odds? There's also a cultural shift happening around masculinity itself. Traditional male qualities like leadership, protection, and provision are often labeled as toxic or outdated. Older men are asking themselves why they should enter relationships where their natural instincts and strengths are seen as problems to be fixed rather than assets to be appreciated. Many women today compete more than they cooperate. They want to debate every decision, challenge every choice, and turn the home into a corporate boardroom where everything is negotiated. Older men have learned that peace isn't negotiable. They'd rather have a quiet house than a hostile one. The dating pool itself has become problematic. Older men aren't looking for Instagram models or party girls. They want partners who can build something lasting together. But finding women who prioritize substance over superficiality, who value partnership over competition, who understand that a successful relationship requires both people playing complementary roles rather than identical ones, has become increasingly difficult. Some men have simply experienced more peace being single than they ever had in relationships. Once you taste that level of tranquility, going back to drama becomes unappealing. No more walking on eggshells, no more emotional roller coasters, no more having to manage someone else's mood swings and insecurities. However, we need to address the elephant in the room. Some of these men are avoiding relationships for unhealthy reasons. Some have shut down emotionally rather than learning to navigate relationships with wisdom. Some are using their standards as an excuse to avoid the vulnerability that real connection requires. Some are simply lazy and don't want their responsibility that comes with being a good partner and potential father. The solution isn't for men to lower their standards or settle for dysfunction. The solution is to become more selective, not less engaged. A man who understands his value doesn't run from relationships entirely. He just becomes extremely careful about who he allows into his life and his legacy. For the women watching this and wondering why quality men seem unavailable, ask yourself honestly whether you bring cooperation or competition to relationships. Do you support your partner's vision or constantly challenge his leadership? Are you building something together or tearing it down with criticism and control? The reality is that older men today have options previous generations didn't have. They can travel, pursue hobbies, build businesses, and create fulfilling lives without the drama that often accompanies modern relationships. Until they find someone who adds genuine value to that life rather than complications, many are choosing to stay exactly where they are. This trend isn't going away anytime soon. As more men reach financial independence and personal contentment, they're realizing that the wrong relationship is worse than no relationship at all.